We are in Drums, Pennsylvania at the 1 mile racetrack of Evergreen Raceway for a 10-lap race to determine a new or a repeat winner here today. 3 stages are set for this race, and 38 cars plan to make this start, and we will return later this season to compete on the road course in Evergreen for the Evergreen Grand Prix. Biggest story today is Justin Haley on that front row for Raceway Racing, but we have a couple of other drivers we fully expect to move up front and try and contend for this lead. A few upsets in the positions, and a couple new drivers here today, starting with numbers like 35, 71, 88, and 60 are a couple of your newer drivers. But this mile track will propose some great racing for us today. So we go ahead and to keep looking at our field. What a lovely color palette of schemes that we got today. Starting with blue and orange as we look at an overhead view from our helicopter. As we see this 1 mile track from the air and the field. And these cars are going to be loud and fast here at this 1.5 miles, putting speeds of 180 down to 170 in the corners. Highline is key here. Try and stick to that higher line to get that run off the corner. As we look at the layout here of Evergreen Raceway, on the front straightaway right down the middle is a start-finish line. A little bit past that, your choose cone, and the drivers will come down into turn number 1 and 2, roughly at speeds of 175 miles an hour, and then pick up down the back straightaway about 180, 185, and then you go back down to that 175 mile an hour range, and then you shift up the gears to the front straightaway, and that's the lap here in Evergreen. And like I said, starting on pole today is that 51 of Justin Haley, who we never expected to see start on the front row here in any race, but he cracks that top 3, going straight to the top, beating Brad Keselowski, and it's the first pole for Raceway Racing, and he surprised everybody in the garage, the booth, everywhere at this track, surprised everybody. And now, like I said last week, Bubba Wallace, we were expecting some improvements, and here he is. First top 5 appearance, and he's starting 3rd. What an improvement for this 23 car. But can Bubba Wallace keep this trend up going into the next race, or will he fall back? But the bigger question is, can he keep the car up front, and can he get a first win for 23XI Racing? Well, let's find out after the 10 laps here today, as we move on to the next driver. Now it's John Hunter Nemechek. He's starting 10th today, his second top 10 appearance, and this 42 car has had ups and downs of the season, but now he's back up into and up. He had the fastest 5-lap average in practice. Very surprised by the 42. He said he wasn't good at tracks like this, but here he is in the top 10, and we'll see if this 42 car can keep it up here all day and hopefully contend for a win. Now, how about a newer driver? We got that 35 of Riley Herbst. He's making a first start, part-time starts for this season, and he is signed with 23XI Racing for Season 2 of the IDK DCS. Now, the 35, he's planning on taking it easy and hoping to gain some experience from drivers like Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, maybe from his team owner, Denny Hamlin. Let's see what Riley Herbst can do in this number 35 Toyota Camry. Now, we go down to another newer driver, Zane Smith, in that 71 car for Spire Motorsports, making his first start as well. And he's saving the seat for Michael McDowell in Season 2. Michael McDowell have recently revealed that he's signing with Spire Motorsports at the end of Season 1. So we're going to see if Zane Smith can keep that seat warm for him, so that way Michael McDowell can come in on an uphill streak for Spire Motorsports. Now, how about Shane Van Gisbergen, our first international driver from New Zealander, and he's signed with Trackhouse Racing, and he's making his first start with them one of the first starts, and he's going to be running a part-time schedule as well this season. Now, he signed with Trackhouse Racing for season number 2 in the number 88 Chevrolet Camaro. Can Shane Van Gisbergen get a win, or maybe even contend for it today? That's all about what the 88 can do. Now, all the way at the back, after failing pre-race inspection, is that number 60 of Cole Custer. Now, he signed with Haas after they get rid of their 3 other charters, becoming the Haas factory team. But this season, Cole Custer is making some starts with RFK Racing in that number 60 car. But Ryan Preece will move to that 60 car, and Cole Custer will move to the 41. But let's see what that 60 car can do, and hopefully get up front. We get to the starting lineup, and row number 1 is Justin Haley and Brad Keselowski. In row number 2, Bubba Wallace and William Byron. In row number 3 is Daniel Suarez and Ryan Blaney. And in row number 4, Austin Cindric and Tyler Reddick. In row number 5, Ross Chastain and John Hunter Nemechek. And in row number 6, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ty Gibbs. In row number 7 is Martin Truex Jr. and Joey Logano. In row number 8, Chase Elliott and Ryan Preece. In row number 9, Riley Herbst and Alex Bowman. That's all we can cover today as the engines are fired and ready to go green here in Evergreen as the cars roll off following those 2 Ford GT40s. And now off of turn 4, Justin Haley and Brad Keselowski get us down to the green flag. Get right in front of the 59. And first cars fly by down in turns 1 and 2. Chase Elliott making some moves on Austin. And we got a car around. Bubba Wallace around. Cindric climbs over to 23. Big crash here. And it looks like the 23 just got hooked on the bumper of the 9. No, he was forcing the 9 under. The 2 just had nowhere to go. An innocent bystander in this is that 2. Yeah, the 23 just wasn't letting the 9 up. And then Chastain wasn't letting the 2 down. The 2 just nowhere to go. And Keselowski's going to win stage number 1. Elliott comes through with a 5th place finish. No penalty for him, as he was being forced. And Brad Keselowski's going to lead him down pit road. And he's going to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires and some Sunoco fuel. William Byron rounds to a 3rd place finish. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and some Sunoco fuel as well. Elliott, he's going to get 2 right side tires. Same with Justin Haley, but they're a little bit slow. So we get to the choose cone. Cars after 14th didn't place, so that puts Ryan Preece and Corey LaJoie on the front row. And look at Spire. All cars in the top 10. Shane Van Gisbergen in that top 10 as well. Now as the cars come off of turn number 4, led by Ryan Preece, green flag is in the air for stage number 2. And as the cars are blocking Bowman, he's around. Big crash down the front straightaway. Red flag immediately out here. And let's take a look at what happened. Off the restart, it looks like the 71 of Smith just tried to duck down, and the 48 of Bowman just wasn't going to let that slide. So he blocked, and that did not work out well for him. So much to dissect here in this crash, as 6 cars were involved. Now let's take a look at the back, see what happened with Jones. Yeah, Bell, it's just a chain reaction. The 4 gets into the 20 gets into the 43, and the 43 gets into the 38. Get Jones on top of Todd Gilliland there. Bowman's going to get pulled through, and they're going to lay down some speedy dry. Crazy crash as we come back to the green flag, this time led by LaJoie, and he does not get going now as they have the white flag, and they're going to race through the speedy dry as Dillon's going to make up some ground here. Preece not wanting to lose that lead, he's going to serpentine down the back, and Dillon's made up to send from the 7. That's going to put the 3 out front, and Austin Dillon is going to win stage 2, and they're 4 wide for 3rd. No top two did not pit. SVG and Corey LaJoy come down. LaJoy upset that his send didn't work, but he's going to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires and some Sunoco fuel. Gisbergen rounds to third. He's happy with that, hoping to get the win here today. And Dylan, he's going to leave that high side open for Kyle Larson to take. Now as they come off turn 4, coming through to the green flag for the final stage. Huge push to the 3 of Austin Dillon. Look at Kaz Grella dive down low. And Kyle Larson ripping that outside, and he gets right contact a little bit. And more contact in the rear. And here they come. And more contact in the back of the field. The 42 of John Hunter Nemechek around. Joey Logano just gets into the 42 of John Hunter Nemechek and sends him around, going to bring us to a 2-lap shootout to decide this. A green-white checker, not an overtime, but green flag is here, and Dylan picked the high side. And he's got to push for that 15 of Kaz Gralla, itching to get up front and lead some laps. Dylan, he lost it, but now he's going to get a run down into turn 3, and they're dead even going to turns 3 and 4. And Kaz Gralla has caught back up to them, and now Larson is with a run off the high side. White flag in the air. One more time around for Kyle Larson. As we look at some battles here on the front stretch. Around goes the 5. We're ahead the lead. And now around goes the 3. Caution will come out. And the 15 of Kaz Gralla out front. So we take a look at what happened. Dylan turns the 5 of Kyle Larson. And then the 15 gets a run down into turn 3 into the 3 of Dylan. And Kaz Gralla is your winner here in Evergreen. As now he comes to the front straightaway. A very surprising winner. Kaz Gralla is your winner of the Pennsylvania 400. He's going to salute the fans. And he's happy with his finish as we got some confrontation. The punch throw. Dylan throws a punch at Dylan. We had a fight down on pit road. Kaz Gralla is your winner today here in Evergreen. As Ryan Preece is your second place finisher. Denny Hamlin third. Hocevar comes through with a 5th place finish. Gisbergen in the top 10. Custer rounds up to a high place finish. Haley fell back a lot. A lot of drivers in different places that we've seen. We expected to see a driver like Christopher Bell get up front and contend for this win, but it did not happen. 30 cars end up finishing this race. Surprisingly, none went a lap down. But we'll see what IDK officials have to say about Larson and Dylan's fight on pit road, but it's going to be Kaz Gralla getting this win with a crazy top 5 of Preece, Hamlin, Byron, and Hocevar. Surprising winner of Kaz Gralla is your race winner as we move on to a short track next race.